Good afternoon, everyone. We're team number two, and we're going to explain our first seminar of this topic. The title of this research is Coronavirus, Ozone Therapy, and Other Factors that Influence the Early or Late Recovery of the Patients.
Okay, so first of all, what's the general objective? To identify the factors or characteristics that influence an early or late recovery. For example, new treatments such as ozone therapy, blood type, sex, age, and other diseases that the patient could have.
Okay, now let's move forward to our specific objectives. Well, firstly, we're going to choose our unique sample that's going to be a accidental sampling. Then we're going to make a survey that will contain personal and medical questions for the patients. This survey must include blood type, sex, age, other diseases that they may have in the past, among others.
The family of the coronavirus was detected the last century, and this virus affect humans and animals. Most of these virus has treatments or not generate seriously complications. The official name of the coronavirus is SARS-CoV-2, and it has more negative consequences in older people. However, it can be fatal for everyone. And these are the symptoms. The ozone therapy helps patients in many countries around the world to recover of COVID. But also, it has not been approved by OMS. China, Italy, and Spain has been testing this treatment to be approved by the OMS. And the transmission way is by the respiratory system.
This research is necessary because it will help us both in the present and in the future because it will give us knowledge about whether the treatment works or not. And in this way, patients get an idea about the treatment and the effects.
The methodology that will we use is non-experimental because we not employ experiments to obtain information and we don't have the instruments or resources to obtain data. We will use information provided by a clinic and we will analyze this information. We create a severity method to classify the patients in this research.
Now, what is the research question? The research question for this experiment is, which are the factors that aggravate or improve a patient's state with COVID-19? Is there any relationship between them? And these characteristics or factors are the ones that we have been mentioning, like medical condition or diseases, lifestyle, blood type, age, sex, ozone therapy, between others.
Now, what is the intent of our study? Well, as you may now have experienced, the world has enrolled in one of the greatest health crises of the 21st century. That corresponds to the COVID-19 virus pandemic. Well, what is a pandemic? A pandemic is a disease that spreads all over the world, but at the same time. The problem and the alarming thing about this type of breakouts is that they spread so quickly into the population, and the human body isn't prepared to combat that disease, as it doesn't have any antibodies that could protect them against it. That's why we are making this study, to know the factors that could improve or could slow down the recovery of a COVID-19 infected patient.
Introducing the novel aspects of our work is that we are working with real COVID-19 patients whose data will be given to us to check and analyze if their characteristics have an influence on an early or late recovery. The data that we will use is not only their current diseases and their symptoms. It will also be their age, the blood type, and the sex to see if these also have an influence. Also, we will check about alternative treatments such as ozonotherapy to see if they are useful and profitable to fight against the COVID-19. And with this, we will give new information to medical services. Now, going on with the research hypothesis, we have two. The first one is that women from 30 years onward, no matter their blood type, had a better response to COVID-19 symptoms. And the second one is that people with blood type A had a faster recovery than those with blood type B.
Finally, for closing up, this non-experimental research will inform people about some factors or characteristics that could aggravate their condition if they get the disease. and also generates more consciousness around the topic.